truth. He doesn't just remember me in human terms. He remembers on me when I remember him. He remembers on me when I use the dhikr. The Quran is called the reminder. And I still deny him and forget who I am many times. And I have put a period during many times in my life in these ways. It's like the wave versus the wake, a concept I learned from Martin Lang. We become preoccupied with the wake of what is left behind us. Sometimes when we're tossed off, we live where we land. So get back on your board and ride the wave. Don't put a period on your journey like the Jews who stayed 40 years wandering around the same mountain. Don't put a period where a comma belongs, where a pause or a sigh should reside. Don't stop there and pitch a tent. Do not make a home in the wake when the wave has tossed you off your boat. Get back in and keep riding. When you put a period, you forget the context and the big picture, like when you study the wake of the pain in the past instead of riding the waves, where you can see things more clearly ahead. For those of you who have told me about your difficult childhoods, you've written to me about abuse, you've spoken to me of your failed marriage. This is an intentional message for you to consider for the child who was abused, help he needed. If he was your child, what would you offer him today? Would you say to your inner 4-year-old, go make tauba? Or would you get him outside help? If he broke his leg, would you go to a doctor? So why are you so reluctant to be open to these ways of healing? Because they are not religious. Use your intellect, your spirit. Use your intellect, but this word does not mean your brain. It comes from Latin. It means acts under the influence of the next world. It's compatible to the ruh, to the spirit. Wisdom is just common sense in sajda. So don't put up a wall to this piece of your past if there is not healing there. It's not about reliving it. It's about healing so you can be complete and then you can bury it with beauty. And what needs to be buried, and visit this memory, this past chapter in your life with love. Not to dig up, but not to deny. You are no surprise to Allah, and He knows all things. Let Him know all of you and be whole with Him, not divided. If you have come from a dark place in your childhood, if you have been in a dark place in your life that did not have resolution, I would offer you the option of letting light into that place before you bury it. You may not even need to let it go. It may be your very shield and himma that spurs you on to greater acts of faith and service for your Lord. This is a good time to tell you, I am sorry if my beginnings or my middle or end time, really, as a wife, ever tread on your journey as a student. I had to learn in front of you. There wasn't much privacy from my graduation to this role, and I was still so young in the faith, maybe shy of 4 years in Islam. That is something I could not transcend, and I did not even want to fake it with anyone. Part of my heart felt like I was a pop-up wife, that I just landed with little tools and then never found a home in my role. It was like I was a vagabond from then on. But looking back, I see a sweet parallel to a story I loved as a child. Wanting to be a nun, to sing, to be cloistered, like in The Sound of Music. And then I landed at the land. And some of you wondered, how do you solve a problem like Halima? I cleaned your shoes and tucked you in at night and sang to you, and then I married your dad. So I get the holy joke now. But then it was too close to have that grateful perspective. But I do know this. I wanted to live real in front of you and him, because in my heart I believed that was the point of me. And why God wanted me to serve you before I was married, so you would know me, really know me, and make the jump with me, all of us as students, to show you that there is no separation beyond age and skin and the outer things that make us think we are us versus them. But living that lesson was so vulnerable, and I'm sure I messed up many times. But the difference between the teacher and the student is the teacher has failed more than the student has tried. And I tried to give you my best, as limited as it was. I just wanted you to know that. If you are a true slave, Abdullah, and then now you submit to the role he chooses, and it will likely feel uncomfortable, or more than that, you will feel inconvenienced. You will feel misunderstood, unappreciated. The ins, the uns are your sacrifice. Not always, but in some, and it can hurt. This was a lesson I learned the most in marriage, when I needed to be changed for my beloved depending on the moment, and to take that lesson and return it to myself. To give that to myself the way I would extend it to the one I love. Can I be the student on the mount, and then the widow at the grave, the daughter at the rock with her dad, the wife in my heart who knows her beloved will always be with her? Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is the barzakh, the barrier between the seen and the unseen, the shadow world, and it is said he had no shadow. I can see the beauty of the story I've lived in. It's unfolded like poetry and music, without limits, and yours as well if you open your heart and are sincere. Sincerity is the key to unlock this world as a believer. We are judged on our intentions, not our deeds. So be Abdullah. Come in wonder and sincerity each moment, and live out the lines you are given in your drop of now. Even if you are to play the vanquished or the victor, it is beautiful and it is perfect. And the ingredients are necessary for you. And God can make everything useful, and everything is from Him. This is one of the lessons I learned through Sidi in marriage, to be who it is I am needed to be in the moment. And that can look different at any time, and that is the ultimate love. Wife, sure, but student, teacher, friend, daughter, mother, antagonist. The ingredients of each role from love is required at times for the beloved, and to submit to the moment and live the lines as sincerely as you can feel, that feels like a true partnership to me. I say, at your service, Lord. And He says, you are enough. So, as I am grieved still, I do not have to feel embarrassed or contrive to be someone I am not. There are parts of me, certainly, that know the highest truth, just like Yaqub. And I touch this truth, and I delight in it in moments. And there are other parts of me, in mind and heart, that have not caught up to the beauty in the reality of this loss. I'm now going to honor this and wait for them. Without stopping, I can wait for these parts of me to catch up, if you understand what I mean. And Sidi is the perfect teacher in death as in all things, and this is my first loss. I am still undone by it, but Allah is knitting me back up with care. So please care about the whole of you. Know that there are levels of yourself that need time and respect that. You may exceed in one aspect of your understanding of how to apply the spiritual teachings in your life, but to another part of yourself, this is such an affront that you rebel. So be patient with yourself. How old do you have to be to remember that you are a child of God? And that everyone is a child of God. Allah didn't say, he who ceases to be knows his Lord. That's Ibn Arabi, not me. Be afraid to know yourself in the real way. Your Lord is the patient. And Sidi was a patient tuner. And he knew how to be sensitive to the ears of our hearts and our asking him questions. How he tuned you is different from how he tuned another. Same question, different answer, but both true, and the needed medicine for the heart that was asking. Under the answer was a note that brought you into more harm and allowed understanding to come in more. Religion is man's idea of God's expectations, and Sidi saved me from this. He tuned me to the truth in love of Allah. You are not following a religion. You are following the truth about who God is and who He created you to be. And this is the song that you sang before you were born. This is the music of your soul, your testimony. Through this path given to us, you are waking up who you are. You're remembering the one who created you, and you are being remembered on by Him. You are a child of God with limitless possibility in every moment, and you are loved more than what you thought. If there is nothing else to say today, then that is enough for me to sit with you and receive. Limitless and loved. In every moment you are being born again to limitless possibilities. If you tell God, yes, choose me for what you will. No matter what it looks like, I am at your service. We say die before you die, and I think, okay, but I also think this. Like the Hajj, we are born before we are born to our real home in eternity. So be born again new in every moment, and remember who you are. You're not a small star on a small stage, or a label, or a one page. You are the greatest story ever told. You are his story, and he is making it new every second. Your book is not meant to be just read. Like Shakespeare said, this work is not to be meant to be read. It's meant to be lived out. Remember him, and he will remember you, and he will rescue you. Siddhi says in his chapter, Who Are You? He writes, this is my life. I want all the family and anyone who lives in this world to be feeling what I feel. This is your message. Everyone needs to live in peace, to live with the peace and the mercy, and to live in the garden. Everyone. God made all the people to live in the garden, but for those who refuse what he wants, what can he make for those people? Nothing. If you refuse, how can you take? But he helps everyone because he is the mercy and he is the love. If you do not love, you cannot have what you want because everything is in the love. Love everything. When you love everything, you love God. Then you know the real meaning of the love. If a person who lives outside loves a woman, he loves like everyone would love. But when he reaches and he understands the deep love and he is complete, living only for his beloved God, then he really loves. Then he knows the deep love, and this love is different from the love of those who live on the outside. This is the true love. Be loved. Be loved, beloved. This is a special message and a holy one. Who are you? Man Ant. That's all I have to say. Mic drop.
That's beautiful. I think now we hear the response of the beloveds. Anyone that would like to speak, unmute yourself and share, speak, ask a question, whatever you would like.
Halima?
Yes, that's me. Assalamu alaikum.
This is Salam Linda. I met you several times at the Shadliya Sufi Center. You were playing your guitar. I'm wondering if it feels right if you would sing for us the Song of Jerusalem.
I don't think this is the time for that song, but thank you for reminding me of it. I haven't listened to that recording in a long time. I know it like the back of my heart, but I actually think it would open my heart too much and take a bit out of me. You understand?
Yes, and I do.
Thank you for understanding.
Thought I'd ask and let you receive the best guidance.
Thank you so much. Read the poem. It's in his book. Beautiful. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, Halima. There's many beloveds from the Mother Center. We want to say hello. Can you see us?
I can't see. I wish I could. Hi, family.
Let me see if I can get the camera on.
Okay.
Can you see it?
No, only if I close my eyes.
Alhamdulillah. Well, everybody
I miss you. Assalamu alaikum.
We love you so much.
Now do the wave.
Thank you so much, Halima. Oh,
I hope a part of it, even if it was just for a moment, I hope it went into your heart and it serves you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
This is Miriam. So nice to see your face.
Thank you, Miriam. Unfortunately, I can't see your face, but I'm happy to hear your voice.
Alhamdulillah. So I want to tell you that my children are all coming for Thanksgiving, And what I'd like to do more than anything is to show them this video because I think it's the best explanation for them that I've ever heard.
Oh,
So thank you so much.
you are very welcome. It really thrills me that you can find it useful and that you can share it with your children.
Yeah,
Thank you, Miriam.
You're welcome.
Alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Salam alaikum, Halima. This is Zuleika from the Minneapolis Center. We
Yes,
haven't met face to face or ever, but your letter touched my heart in such a big way. I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Sufi face to face, but your letter today let me know him in a way I don't think I would have ever known otherwise. So thank you so much. I was wondering if you would consider possibly publishing what you wrote today. I would love to have a copy of that to put on my wall.
Oh. I will speak with Abdullah and we'll find a way if you'd like to see it written and to keep it.
Thank you
Inshallah.
so much. Thank you so much.
He's the man behind the curtain. I'm sure he knows how to do that.
We can do it. We can do that.
Very much. Alaikum assalam.
Thank you. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Beloved sister, this is Rebecca.
Oh, salam alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. I don't have anything to say. I just wanted to give you a big hug and kisses.
Oh, that's kind of how I felt when I was writing this letter last night. I wasn't sure what to say. I just knew I wanted to give you a big hug. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Hi, this is Salima Linda from Texas.
Alaikum Salima.
It's so good to see you. And I'm not sure I can talk a lot without crying, but the part about read your lines and say, I am your servant, I'm your slave. Could you repeat that part?
Abdullah, can you tell? Said I caught a little bit of it of repeating a part that I read.
She said that there was a part in which it said, I am your servant, I am your slave.
And when you're in a situation, read your lines or know your lines. Be present.
Oh.
That comes
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
being present and taking it all and being
Type. Okay, I think I found it's just a few lines and I'll read it for you again. And I hope it serves you. I hope it's the right one. Limitless and loved. In every moment you are being born again to limitless possibilities. If you tell God yes, choose me for what you will. No matter what it looks like, I am at your service. We say die before you die, and I think, yeah, sure, but I also think this. Like the Hajj, we are born before we are born to our real home in eternity. Be born again new in every moment and remember who you are.
Alhamdulillah. God bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, it's Mahbooba.
Hi, Mahbooba. Wa alaikum assalam.
I want to say how much I love you and how my heart is jumping for joy seeing you. And thank you so much for bringing joy back in to my heart. Alhamdulillah.
Oh.
Thank you. And I'm so excited to share this video with Barry and all others that I love. So thank you, my beloved sister.
Yeah,
And I love you.
thank Allah. I love you too.
Alhamdulillah.
Mm. Okay, Abdullah.
Okay.
Halas.
Thank you, Halima,
Thank
for
you.
a beautiful time spent with all of us, and how much we appreciate everything that you did for Sidi, everything that you did for us as individuals and as a community, and we love you, and we just want you to know that. So.
Thank you, Abdullah. I love you, my family, all my heart here. In whatever way I can serve you, I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
So Wahida, I am going to find you, inshallah. If I can.
Assalamu alaikum, can you
There
hear
we
me?
go. Yep, I can. Okay, hang on. I'm going to spotlight you. Okay, Wahida, you are now spotlighted. And inshallah, the Farm of Peace can stay with us because hopefully Salima, if she's so inclined, might be able to answer some questions about the future of the university.
Inshallah, yeah. Okay.
Let me just say before we begin, because this is a conversation, I'm going to leave it to folks to kind of mute themselves and to handle the noise that might be in the background of wherever you are. So, because people will want to speak, so please do that to the best of your ability. Wahida,
So, assalamu alaikum. Yeah. So, assalamu alaikum.